All right, golfers, so we talk about the magic move of transition a lot in tips. And this week, we're going to use our gear system and some video of Rory McIlroy to dive into that and talk specifically about how the hips and therefore your lower body should work in transition to an athletic downswing.
You're right about that, Jake. It really is a magic move if you can get that sequence on the way down. And I see so many golfers, obviously the upper body leads first, and that leads to a spin and a slice or a pull. That's not great. But the other thing I'm seeing a lot of, and I want to explain how it actually works, because I see a lot of people thinking it's just a lateral slide and a pull. I see people working on this move a lot, and there's not a lot of rotation at the start of their downswing, and I don't think that's right too. So let's take a look at gears and Rory McIlroy and show people exactly how they want to move into that front leg.
You're absolutely right, Kevin. The extremes on either end is problematic. You don't want to just spin your hips from the top, but it also isn't, as you just said, a giant lateral slide. We can see, looking at an average tour player from above in our gear system, how when they start their downswing, they are posting up onto their lead leg. Their lead thigh and hip is shifting towards that yellow line we've drawn, but the hip is also rotating substantially. That's why if we draw a circle around this ball that is their lead hip joint, we can see it move forward and clear out of the way at the same time in that magic move.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by that. If you look at where the club head is right now, it's still behind his head, and he already has his hips square to the ball, or square to the golf ball right now. So there's definitely some unwinding there with the lateral move, right? It's a blended motion. It's not just a lateral tug, or we certainly don't want that spin, like you say, that opens up the upper body. Let's look at how Rory does it. And I think you can really see it with Rory if you look at his belt and thighs and midsection, how he's kind of moving and getting his muscles activated, but there's also some rotation there.
Yeah, agreed. So we are looking for that lateral shift of the pelvis. Generally, from the top of the backswing to impact, we will see a 6-inch lateral bump most of the time for tour players towards the target. So you are supposed to bump your hips forward. You are supposed to sway to the target. But as we can see, both in the Gears version and the Rory version, that blended move you just mentioned of turning your hips while you do so is essential to making sure you have proper kinematic sequence into impact.
Yeah, we talk a lot about early extension today, Jake, and maybe lifting up and thrusting through impact. A lot of that's caused because we don't rotate as we're moving onto that front leg. So really important to work on the move and do it properly. Thanks for watching, golfers. Make sure to like and subscribe and check out all of our other tips.